2.6, proving angles congruent. Theorem 2.1, vertical angles theorem. According to this theorem, that tells us that vertical angles are congruent. Well, vertical angles are angles that are across from each other, and they're formed from opposite rays. Okay, so if you take a look at angle 1 and angle 3, notice how I have kind of an X-looking thing here. That's kind of my way to talk about it here. So by the vertical angle theorem here, I'm going to have angle 1 congruent to angle 3, and I'm also going to have angle 2 congruent to angle 4. It's just what vertical angles are. Okay, so problem 1 is using that vertical angle theorem. Again, you have that X-looking thing here, and you have 2x plus 21, you have 4x that are vertical from each other. So I'm going to go ahead and say 2x plus 21 equals 4x. Again, subtract 2x. This should be relatively simple. 21 equals 2x. Divide by 2. X equals, and don't be afraid of this, 21 halves. You're allowed to have fractions. Okay? Here's a bunch of theorems that maybe get overlooked a little bit, and we got to talk about it. If angle 1 and angle 3 are supplements, and then angle 2 and angle 3 are supplements, so again, angle 1 and angle 3, angle 2 and angle 3, then angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. That's the congruent supplements theorem. Congruent complements theorem is the same thing, it's just saying that they're complements of each other. So if two angles are complements of the same angle, then those two angles are congruent. Okay, theorem 4 talks about all right angles being congruent. That's pretty easy. Why did they all right angles congruent? Well, right angles equal 90 degrees. So if they're all right angles, they're all 90 degrees, which means they're all congruent. And then theorem 2.5 talks about if two angles are congruent and supplementary, then each is a right angle. A little bit of an obscure one. But angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent, and then angle 1 and angle 2 are supplements. That has to mean that angle 1 and angle 2 equal 90 degrees. Problem 2. Prove angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. Okay, so again, what we need to do when you do these proofs, and the thing about it and what makes these hard and why kids struggle is because you don't quite understand what you have to do here in order to do this. Well, if I need to prove angle 2 and angle 3, whatever I'm doing, they have to be in my proof somewhere. So start first thing with the given. 1. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 4. How do I know that? Oh, given. Easiest points. Don't forget to write it. Okay? Well, I need to start introducing in angle 2 and angle 3. Well, how can I do that? Well, let's start with angle 1 right here. What do I know about angle 1? Well, angle 1 and angle 3 are what kind of angles? So we know that here that they're going to be vertical angles. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 3 by vertical angle. Vertical angles are congruent. Okay, so there's that. Okay, good. 3 is in my proof. So I can go ahead and say that angle 4 is congruent to angle 3 by the transitive property. Okay, 4 then, I could go ahead and say, okay, let's get angle 2 in there. Angle 2 congruent to angle 4 by vertical angles are congruent. Okay, and then I can go ahead and say, well, 4 is congruent to 3 and 2 is congruent to 4. Got to be angle 2 congruent to angle 3, which is what I want to prove, by the transitive property. Problem 3 is writing a paragraph proof. So we're going to say angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary, angle 2 and angle 3 are supplementary. I need to prove that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. And we want to do a paragraph proof here. I don't really necessarily like paragraph proofs, but again, the exam you take end of the year has paragraph proofs. We have to fill it in. So it's good to see these things. So first part, again, always start with your given. So our proof is angle 1 and angle 3 are supplementary because it's given. So the measurement of angle 1 plus the measurement of angle 3 equals 180 degrees by definition of supplementary angles. We also know that angle 2 and angle 3 are supplementary because it's also given. So measurement of angle 2 plus the measurement of angle 3 equals 180 degrees by same definition. So the measurement of angle 1 plus the measurement of angle 3 equals the measurement of angle 2 plus the measurement of angle 3 by transitive property. Since I have angle 3 on both sides, measurement of angle 1 plus measurement of angle 3 equals measurement of angle 2 plus measurement of angle 3, I could just go ahead and subtract measurement of angle 3 from each side. So measurement angle 1 equals measurement angle 2. By subtraction property. And then therefore angles with same measure, therefore angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 because angles with same measure are congruent. Because angles with same measurement are congruent. Okay, so it's a little bit rough writing a paragraph proof. I'm not a huge fan of them. Statement reasons are what we're going to concentrate most on, but I want to expose you to paragraph proofs so they're not a huge shock as you go through this and take that exam.